So tell me, have you ever had the thought process of, I know what to do to get into shape, I'm just not doing it? I know it's all about eating less and moving more. I know that I should be probably cleaning up my food choices a little bit, easy on the junk food, easy on the booze, and I probably should be weight training, resistance training, going for more walks, being more active. See, the information isn't the problem. I'm just not doing it. If that is you, if that is your thought process, and you're still not where you want to be when it comes to the way you want to look and the way you feel, your clothes size, your confidence level, this video is going to be for you. You see, the reality is we like to tell ourselves stories such as, I know what to do, I'm just too busy. I know what to do, I'm just unmotivated. I don't have the discipline, don't have the willpower. Life's too busy right now, and I've got too many other things going on. The reality is, if you're not where you want to be with your physique, there is still a massive gap right now. And you thinking to yourself that you know what to do, but you're just not doing it, is literally keeping you stuck. But hey, you're not to blame whatsoever. Fitness influencers and just fitness on social media in general, the way in which you have been programmed to think about it is. And if you find yourself still saving recipe books, still saving random Instagram workouts, and still scrolling through the latest nutritional strategy to lose body fat and all the rest of it, I'm here to tell you that you're thinking about this thing the complete wrong way. So my number one overarching goal for this video is to give you a big mindset shift, is to completely shift your belief as to what you need to focus on instead of what you have been doing to get you into incredible shape. So if you're over 30, if you think that you know what to do when it comes to getting into shape, but you're not doing it, or you're not in the shape in which you want to be, this is going to be gold for you, and we're going to really shift some beliefs and get you having some paradigm changes for sure. So let's pull up the iPad, let's pull up the computer, and ultimately let's get you on track to a fantastic result. Follow me. Okay, so without further ado, let's dive straight into the prime time physique formula. And honestly, if you have caught yourself having feelings and thoughts and kind of conundrums such as, I should be in shape by now, but I'm not. Even though I know what to do, I know exactly what I should do to be in shape, but I'm not for whatever reason. And it can sometimes feel like most other areas of your life are kind of sorted and on lock, be that the family, the kids, the wife, the house, the car, the holidays, the business, the finances. But this is still something which kind of bugs you haven't quite nailed, and it can feel a little bit jarring. And it can almost feel like the physical representation of, how you look and how clothes feel and fit and what you see in the bathroom mirror each and every morning is not congruent with the other successes that you've got during your life and about your life. I hear this a lot with guys that contact me for coaching and what have you. They feel like there's a disconnect right now. Oftentimes they'll also feel like their prime is behind them. They'll feel like it used to be easy to get into shape, but now not so much. And their best days are completely gone. And then we can start telling ourselves stories like, well, I feel like my metabolism has slowed down, and maybe I've got a thyroid issue and all these things. And the problem with this level of thinking is essentially it leaves you searching for more information on the internet. We think that there's something missing. Maybe it's the latest workout program. Maybe it's the latest nutritional strategy, which I haven't tried yet and everyone's talking about it. Or maybe it's the fact that I haven't ordered these special supplements, which my favorite fitness influencer keeps on going on about with a discount code in the bio. Now, the whole purpose and premise of this presentation, of this YouTube video, is not for me to convince you to buy anything, to sign up with me, to buy coaching or anything like that. It is to literally give you the mindset shift that you're going to need in order to get into the shape of your life. And it's also to demonstrate that the way in which coaches, fitness professionals, entrepreneurs, whoever you're following on social media with regards to this area of your life, the fitness side of things, they're going about it completely wrong. Okay. And so I want you to have blow away mind-altering shifts, perspective shifts, and big light bulb moments. And I really feel like this video is going to give you that if you stick into the end and if you understand and indeed apply what I'm saying. Now, this next slide, I literally want you to screenshot, to take notes, to jot down, to press pause, do whatever it is that you're going to do, because I'm not going to gatekeep anything. I'm going to pull back the curtain and literally give you the keys to the kingdom when it comes into how do we get into fantastic shape, okay? So as I put right here, this is exactly what you need to do to get into incredible shape. No gatekeeping, take notes. This is literally it. Number one, walk 10,000 steps per day, or have a high energy expenditure. For most people, 10,000 steps is the sweet spot. Progressively resistance train. I don't care if you're in the gym or you're at home, you want to be progressively overloading and resistance training over time, getting stronger, doing more reps, doing more volume, etc., etc. You want to be eating a high protein diet. I'm not going to bore you about why protein is so impactful and important in this presentation. You've probably been sleeping under a rock if this is news to you, okay? You want to stay hydrated. You want to be getting 7 to 9 hours of sleep each and every night. And we want to be eating mainly whole foods, minimally processed, single ingredient, nutrient dense foods, which you can typically find around the outer perimeter of the supermarket. But you knew that already. Is there anything in which I've just said which is mind altering and like, oh my God, I didn't know that, and he's just given me all the information and now I'm going to be in sick shape? Like, tell me, is that how you thought? Or did you run through that list with me and you're like, Sharif, I kind of knew that? Because honestly, if you didn't know that, then I would say you're probably brand spanking new to this. You need to go ahead and download my free guide, the Fat Loss Formula, which is going to allow you to, burn the next sort of 10 plus pounds of body fat on your own completely for free and give you some of these foundational principles. I bet you knew this already, okay? You've heard this before. You might even be implementing some of this stuff yourself, okay? So the massive big elephant in the room right now then is, if you know what to do, why aren't you in incredible shape yet? Right? We know what to do. Nothing I've just said is groundbreaking. Nothing in which I've just said is different, new, anything like that. So why are we not in shape? And then we have the thought process, well, just because I know what to do, Sharif, I'm too busy, or I'm not very disciplined, or I don't have motivation, or I fall off track, or all these low-level style thought processes and patterns. This is no knock to you, by the way. This is literally how you've been conditioned to think with fitness on social media. Because if we continue to think like this, it's just as good or as bad as the following advice. And let me just pull up my iPad right now, just so I can illustrate exactly what I now mean. Because the thing is, I'm pretty sure that you wouldn't tell this homeless guy right here to just get a house. I'm also pretty sure that you wouldn't tell this alcoholic here to just stop drinking. And I'm pretty sure that you would not tell this guy here to basically just cheer up, even though he's got clinical depression, okay? Can you see why that's a problem? You are thinking about the symptom and not the cause. And I'm going to teach you exactly what you need to be thinking about versus what you have been thinking about so far. So let's dive back in, because essentially what we need to realize is that you need systems in place in order to facilitate how to get in shape, rather than a bunch of willpower and more information, more knowledge on what to do. Social media is full of the what. Here is what you need to do to get into shape, okay? And it talks to you about the steps and the cardio and the nutrition and what have you, but no one actually tells you how. How do I now fit this into my day-to-day life? In the same life where I've got family, I've got work, I've got holidays, I've got socials, I've got stresses and strains. And we implement something called the Lean Engine into 23 Lean private coaching clients. And this allows them to basically implement the how rather than just the what. The what of how to get into shape, we could dissolve over a cup of coffee in 5 minutes. In fact, I've already done so if you look above. That never changed anyone's life because you don't have the how, okay? You do not need more willpower. You need systems in place. And I absolutely love this next quote from James Clear. And that is that you do not rise to the level of your goals. You literally fall to the level of your systems. And without these systems, you're never going to be able to cultivate enough consistency to get that long-term success. And we do this by having the Lean Engine in place and concentrating on what I coined the foundational 4. And that's basically 4 key core components, which if you nail on a day-to-day basis, are going to allow you to move forward with your physique, with your health, and it's going to stand the test of time. And that is going to be nailing your nutrition, making sure that your sleeping and stress management is locked in, making sure that your cardio / your steps are where they need to be, and making sure that you are resistance training. And amongst all of this is a massive mindset and identity shift, which we get our clients to have so they can step into the shoes of the lean person, not experience any rebound, and really get that subconscious mind going as to who they actually now are. And honestly, when we have the Lean Engine in place and when we're just focused on that foundational 4, some pretty cool things happen. We get results like Michael, who burnt body fat and indeed built muscle tissue, even though that he was living on a boat the entire time. He didn't have access to, optimal nutrition and certainly not optimal training. And as you can see, we get blow away results just like this. This is my man Clive at the good old age of 60, got into photo shoot shape. And again, he knew what to do, but he didn't really have the how. And that's what we gave him, okay? Along with the support, the accountability, the education, and the customization for him to follow through. And obviously we've now got Amrish, who is a busy dad. He is a CEO, entrepreneur, oftentimes flies all around the world. So obviously routine is a little bit out of whack, and we still got great results, and we get great results every single week. This is Ethan, as you can see, literally like photo shoot condition shape. He didn't even hit the gym for this transformation. We trained exclusively from home, which is pretty wild. Then we've got Kaylee, as you can see, has transformed her waistline, and again, was training hard, was eating well, but something was missing. And a big part of that is the lean engine, the strategies in which you can actually do to, implement the what into your day-to-day life. And I'm going to give them to you as well, or at the very least a good handful if you stick around to the end. Who else we got? We've got my Matt, and Matt literally looks so much younger now, as you can see from left to right. And the reason I'm showing you all of this, and we can be here all day, is just so you know that the principles in which I'm sharing hold validity, hold value, and cause unbelievable body shape change and transformations. Because again, you've got to think that if it was the 10,000 steps, if it was the protein intake, it was a progressive overload, that's all you had to do. Again, the big elephant in the room, why aren't you there yet? And you're not there yet because, again, we've been missing the how rather than the what. Okay? As you can see, kind of massive changes to her waist for sure. This is my man Kieran, busy business owner, really stressed out dad on the left-hand side, and we got him into the shape of his life, feeling, looking, and operating at his very best. And then my amazing client Danny from the States, she basically got into the shape of her life for her wedding, even when literally nothing else was working before. Again, these people, before they came to me, they weren't unmotivated, they weren't lazy, they didn't need more discipline, but it needed a system in place to allow them to facilitate the changes which you can now see. Now, before we go on any further, if you're brand spanking new to me, my content, my channel, hello, by the way, my name is Sharif Lawton, and let's just wind it back to kind of like where things are at, because yes, I believe that you should listen to me based on these guys and gals, and not so much myself, but it's also important to basically give you the know-how and the background story. So me, I was always that skinny kid growing up. The wind blew too much, I'll probably blow away. Really skinny, kind of ectomorphic style physique. And more recently, this is how I now look. That was last year at a photo shoot, and no drugs, no PEDs, no testosterone. I've developed my physique naturally. And so these guys and gals, which you can see on the page previous, and essentially what we do is install these systems into our own routine to make sure that we get results for life. And it's what we're pretty damn good at. Now, before this, I was that typical kind of personal trainer. We would train people at the gym, we would count their reps and take them from machine to machine and unload the pin on the pin stack, etc., etc. And the whole reason why I started 23 Lean in the first place was because we were telling our clients that, hey, you can train really hard and that's all well and good, but actually it's what you do with the other 23 hours of the day which really count. It's what you do with your nutrition, with your sleep, with your stress management, with your steps, managing alcohol, managing the weekends, managing self-sabotage, and all these things which we literally weren't supporting them in doing, which is why this kind of one-to-one traditional personal training method or model really didn't sit well with me. So a few years back, I transitioned completely to online. And as you can see, the results absolutely started to fly, because now we're able to support our clients around the other 23 hours of the day, hence 23 Lean. So just wanted to give you some background and some context behind it all. And as you can see, we have a group of clients right now who we are very grateful to be in the corners of, to change their lives and to make sure that they are operating with crystal clear clarity, knowing exactly what they need to do from the minute they get up to the minute they go to bed for a world-class transformation, not just focusing on that 1 hour when they're in the gym, because obviously we know that that's never going to change anyone's life. So hopefully that makes sense. Just a bit about me, the coaching program, etc., etc. What you can see here is some of our live events, which we host for our private clients, sort of quarterly, but the business is fully online now, which is amazing, being able to transform and help so many people's lives, literally just from the comfort of my laptop, which is absolutely wild. Okay, so let's go back in and let me take you through some of the lean engine principles, the strategies, the systems we've actually got in place, rather than just thinking about the what I need to do to get into shape. It's like the how. How do we do that? And let me just give you a few examples of some principles behind our lean engine. So number one, we've got the decision stack limiter. And if we realize and understand and appreciate that most guys have so many decisions that they have to make per day, either at work, with family, etc., etc. And we know that you only have X amount of willpower and decision-making ability each and every day. And most people are overwhelmed when it comes to decisions around food, especially last thing at night. Like, just think about it, right? Last thing at night, you come home, you're absolutely knackered, you're tired, you've had a row with the boss, whatever it may be, right? Like, the last thing you're going to want to think about is like, Do I need steak and green beans, or is it chicken and broccoli today? Or do you know what I mean? Like, you need to have that on autopilot. So the way in which we do that is we give our clients 3 breakfasts, which they enjoy, which fit their macronutrition, which fit their calorie goal, etc., and indeed 3 lunches, which they're just on rotation, and dinner's the wild card. So they typically know that lunch and breakfast is going to be one of 3 things. And this limits decision fatigue and frees up bandwidth for other things later on in the day so that they can stay more consistent, stick to their plan for longer, and get better results. So can you see we are focusing on the how to implement the nutrition strategy rather than the what? Does that make sense? Let me give you another example. We've got the walk and work stack. So we know that getting in a good amount of steps per day, I use the example of 10,000 is probably a good idea. But how do we do that whilst we've got client meetings, Zoom calls, team calls, etc.? Well, the way in which we do that is if there is a low level task in which you can potentially voice note or you can type and do, then we might go for a walk or even just pace up and down the office. I know it sounds crazy, but even right now I'm standing rather than sitting, and we're going to be burning more calories by doing so. And this is how we implement daily movement without it feeling like you're some sort of pet and have to go for a walk, with a lead or what have you. Next one, good, better, and best. Again, most coaches, they just have this mindset of like, yo, here is the plan. Here is the things which I'm going to get you to do. Here's your nutrition plan. Here's your training plan. Here's your sleep and stress management, if they even go into that, and off you go, job done. Okay. The reality is we know that you're not a robot. We know that there are going to be some weeks whereby you've got a friend coming to town. There's an injury, there's an illness, there is client dinners, drinks, whatever it may be. And so what we arm our clients with are on each of the foundational 4, they've got a good, a better, and a best case scenario. So the best case scenario is they literally do everything I've asked to the T, 110%. Great, they get their results. Okay. A better case scenario is like, okay, cool, we didn't quite hit that, but we still did okay. Okay. We did better than we normally would have done if we hadn't been on the program. So maybe the goal is 10,000 steps, but they actually just managed 8. Okay, cool. Maybe I asked for 3 resistance training sessions, but I actually got 2 in. Okay, cool, etc., because it's still moving them forward, just maybe not at the fastest rate possible based on what week they've now got on. And then we've got good, which is basically a hard line in the sand to protect you from poor quality experiences. So it's basically your minimums. So we operate on a minimum and maximum kind of dial rather than an on or off button. And once you start to treat your journey like a dimmer switch rather than an on or off button, man, things start to flow beautifully. So again, just some examples of what we implement inside this lean engine. Full body is something which I'm very, very passionate about, just because if you think about it, right? Let's say we missed that last workout, okay? And we only trained twice. Well, great, because we've trained full body twice throughout a 7-day period. That's so much better than doing a typical bodybuilding split where it's chest day on one day, arm day on one day, leg day on one day, shoulder day, back day. And the reason is because let's say, for instance, we conveniently have to skip leg day, or we don't have time for it, quote unquote. Well, guess what? Now it's been, 7 days, 10 days, 14 days before you even touch that muscle group, which is no good. Okay. You want a high degree of what we call muscle protein synthesis. And that is the rate in which your body can turn over new tissue. And basically you want to be stimulating muscle groups frequently in order to do that as someone who is busy, time strapped, etc. And then we've got the protein anchor system. We know that protein is important, but again, rather than just give you an arbitrary, figure to hit each and every day, we actually give you a number to hit per meal, and we give you the tools, the knowledge, the food items in which they're actually used to get roughly 30 to 40 grams of protein in those meals, and then it just becomes effortless. Not only that, it stabilizes blood sugar, it allows you to have less cravings, less likely to snack, etc. So this is more about the how rather than the what, because you've already got the what. Can you see the missing link here? So again, hopefully the cogs are starting to turn right now and you're going, oh shit, I've not actually thought about this before. It's not the what I need. It is, again, the how. So hopefully this is now making good sense. So team, if you've enjoyed this content, if I've blown your mind a little bit, if you realize that the gap from where you are right now to the physique, the health, the confidence in which you want isn't not knowing what to do, but actually it is knowing how to get the job done. There are 3 pathways in which we can go down here. Number 1 is only for fast movers, action takers, those that want the surest fire way, the fastest way to their physique development. Jump on a game plan call with me. You can do so with the link in the description just there. We can basically have a back and forth. I can find out exactly what's been going on for you, where you're at right now, what have you tried, where things are at, like I say, and then most impactfully, most importantly, map out, okay, cool. Based on this, what does success kind of look like to you in 90 days time? What would you absolutely love to achieve? and then reverse engineer a plan to get there. There are only 1 or 2 outcomes on that call. Number 1, you go away with a crystal clear plan in which you implement for yourself. Or number 2, you realize that actually partnering together is going to be the fastest way there. And we give you the support, the accountability, the structure, the platform, the customization to make this thing a no-brainer. And you get the results like you've just seen with my guys and gals inside 23 and just a handful of them. Number 2, if you are interested in building muscle, go ahead and jump over on my Instagram at Sharif Lawton and either comment on any post or DM me the number 23. And I'm going to give you a free mini course on exactly how to build muscle effectively with no drugs after 30. Or number 3, if you want more information on how to burn body fat, just send me the number 36, same sort of thing on either Instagram with a comment or a DM, and I will send you the fat loss formula for free, which is going to allow you to torch body fat on your own completely for free and just use the principles in that book. Hopefully, team, this has been helpful and blown your mind a little bit, because honestly, once I started to realize that this was the gap, it's not what to do, it's how to get it done, results are to absolutely fly. So hopefully this has now shifted your perspective. That was my overarching goal for this video. And I tell you what, if you've not subscribed yet, massively appreciate subscribe, a like, and more than that, just a comment below. Like, does this stuff make sense to you? Or have I missed anything? Or are you still unsure about what to do or what you need to do in order to facilitate some fantastic results? Please do let me know, and I'll be on here very soon, I'm sure. All right, have a great rest of your day, and I'll talk to you in a bit. Peace.